So the pro-Palestinian mob, the anti-Israel mob, want to march across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. They were going to do it this Sunday, reckoning it was going to be a little bit like this 25 years ago when there was a bridge walk for reconciliation.
On the 28th of May 2000, more than 250,000 people, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, came together to walk across the Sydney Harbour Bridge for reconciliation. It was a day for healing and celebration. It was also the biggest political demonstration the country had ever seen.
Yeah, the pro-Palestinian mob reckon it would be a bit like that, or a bit like that time more recently when the iconic landmark was used again, this time for a World Pride event.
On the Harbour Bridge this morning, Sydney was heaving with pride.
Really emotional, it's amazing.
Closed in both directions as the rainbow flag was carried from the north side to the city, dancing above Circular Quay.
And while a pride march in Gaza would almost certainly end in death at the hands of the Hamas Islamist extremists, this sort of march is a legacy that the pro-Palestinian mob are keen to leverage now.
The bridge is a hugely iconic symbol, so that's why we think it's a very important step, because we need to do whatever we can to try to stop this genocide.
We want to see tens of thousands, 50,000, 100,000 people march for humanity across that harbour bridge.
Really? March for humanity? I think we know how pro-Palestinian protests turn out, and they're hardly something worth showcasing on the world-famous bridge.
The night of pride! The night of victory! This is the day we've been waiting for!
Yeah, unity is the last thing this protest would foster. Remember the reason the hateful mob turned up at the Opera House back in October 2023 was because it was going to be the site of commemoration for more than 1,200 massacred Israelis. The protesters were there to intimidate and keep away grieving Jewish Australians. And this hatred was out there long before Israel had fired so much as one bullet in response. This was back when bodies were still being recovered and authorities were trying to work out who'd been kidnapped. The New South Wales Premier, thankfully, says the Harbour Bridge March won't happen. But in a weak argument, he hasn't objected to the intent of the protest. Rather, he's talked about practicalities and the lack of notice.
If what they're saying is that they need more time to help us organise this, then of course we're happy to spend another week or whatever it will take if they're genuine about that.
Yeah, they'll be patient. This mob will take any opportunity they can get to cause havoc. That bloke you just saw, he might appear familiar. His name is Josh Lees, and he was leading the Sydney University pro-Palestinian protests more than a year ago when I visited. His day job is with Red Flag, the publication of the Socialist Alternative, Australia's self-proclaimed largest Marxist revolutionary group. And it seems Lees works almost full-time on his pro-Palestinian and anti-Israeli cause. His latest article in Red Flag says Israel has turned Gaza into a killing field, with soldiers ordered to shoot starving civilians seeking aid. And he says Israeli soldiers shoot and torture Palestinians for fun, singing and dancing in line with their extreme ethno-nationalist ideology, in which they are the chosen people and Palestinians are not even human beings. This is repugnant bile. These are putrid anti-Israeli lies that fan the flames of anti-Semitism. And this bloke is the main organiser of the pro-Palestinian protests. He is a Marxist revolutionary intent on upending our capitalist society and the influence of other market economies like the US and Israel around the world. This mob are so extreme that they think Anthony Albanese is too pro-Israel. Imagine that. Another article in Red Flag says that the fact Albo's latest Israel comments are his most strongly worded only shows what an absolute monster he is. Albo, an absolute monster in the way he supports Israel. What lunatics. This is not some humanitarian push to liberate the people of Gaza. This is a mob led by the socialist alternative, self-proclaimed Marxist revolutionaries who want to tear down Israel, Australia and the US, who oppose liberal market economies and who are merely using the plight of the Palestinians and the ethno-religious tensions of the Middle East to further their aims. Do not give them the Harbour Bridge. Ever.